everybody, and welcome back to the Empire Let's Play series. Today we are going to get a start on our jungle village. Last episode we spent a little bit of time over in the jungle, starting to work on some of the roads over there, and today the village is going to be our primary focus. Between episodes, I did a little bit of work on our road, and if you joined me on the live stream, you saw some of this happen. So over here we have our bridge that goes across the river, and you can see here we've gotten a pretty good start on the road towards the map library. And then on this end of things, we started the road here and got a little bit of work done on the tunnel. So let's go ahead and run over to the jungle and take a look at that. I typically do live streams on Saturday afternoons Pacific time and usually stream for about an hour and a half or so. And you can see here, that is the work we got done. So we made the road hug the side of the hill here, and then it comes on up like so. And I just got the very beginnings of the tunnel going. So this side is looking really good. The ceiling and this side still need a little bit of work. And then this sort of creeps up a little bit. I added a little bit of a curve so that we didn't have such a dramatic transition here. And I'm really happy with it. I think it looks very good. Once we get to the top here, there's still a lot of road work that needs to happen. So the road will continue along here and then meet up with the work that we did last episode. So here is what we accomplished last time, this fantastic elevated jungle path. And again, this is going to continue off towards our desert village, and then this is going to go up towards our jungle village. Did just a little bit of work here. Got it installed up to there. And then what we had done is we had come out like this and decided we were going to work our way across. I think what I'm actually going to do is go through the hill a little bit here. So again, we can have a little bit of like a tunnel or like a architectural element here. And I'm thinking this is going to be the direction that the road goes in here. And this will actually be a bridge. So if we grab our cobble, we're just going over one and then out three. 1, 2, 3, over 1, 1, 2, 3. Like so. And that will get us into our jungle. Now, I'm thinking this we might actually do in wood. I think I want to do something of like a suspension bridge. So something kind of attached over here and over there. Again, just so it looks real jungly, real kind of rickety. And then here, we have a little bit of a stony shore right here. You can kind of see the stone. And once we get past the stony shore, we get back into the jungle. And so I think here is where, the jungle village is going to start. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of clear things out so we have a little bit of room to build, and then we'll see how things kind of shape up. I've been silk touching some of the leaves so that we can smelt them and make some leaf litter, and that way we can add some decoration to some of our existing forests. So far, this is the space I've cleared. Not sure how big this village is going to be, so I figured we could start and then expand as needed. I have a little bit of an idea of how I want this to look. I want to use some cobble, I want to use some stone, and I think I want to use a fair amount of tuff. Tuff has a little bit of a green cast to it, and I think that would be kind of a cool look in a jungle village. I have an idea also for some architectural things we could do that are different than the other villages. And so I'm just going to start laying stuff out like I've done before with the other villages and see how this goes. I think we have a fairly good start here. One thing that is driving me crazy is all of these vines. Like, they slow you down and get you all hung up. So we'll have to climb up there and knock some of these off so they're not in the way. So we're going to have a road that goes from this bridge over to this entrance right here. And we'll have some fence gates to keep the mobs out. And then when we walk in, we have a lot of small little dwellings. And I used a lot of tuff, I used some stone, I used some jungle wood. And there is a lot of diagonals happening here. So you can see things are kind of poking in, poking out. And this is just a little bit of a footprint. These buildings will be different heights, things like that. And it's sort of an L shape. So it comes around over here like that. And I think on this corner right here, I'm going to build myself a little place to call my own. Doesn't need to be super big, just a place with a little bit of storage and a place to sleep. I did have to cut down a bunch of trees, and so I might go in and replant some trees and things around here just to give it a little bit more height. And then we just need to kind of build up each of these buildings, put some doors, put some workstations, get some villagers over here, and let them kind of take it over. For the beds, we're going to need a bunch of wool. And I think in a future episode, we will do a wool farm, probably over at Mingus, so that we can get lots of wool for not only beds, but I'd like to get some banners as well. I'd like to put some labels on our map so we can see where the villages are. And it'd be kind of cool to come up with a banner for each village so that we could kind of decorate each village with its own kind of flag. I think that would be kind of a neat look. I think I want to change it up for just a second and work a little bit on this bridge. I think I want to use either jungle wood or a combination of oak and jungle wood. I'll see how that kind of comes together. And I think it'll be a really cool look if I can get that angle to work out. Oh, you know what? I just saw something. Those are firefly bushes. I think those are the first bushes that we've seen from the new update. We will have to run over there and grab some of those. All right, well, this was real tricky, but I think I'm happy with it. It's a weird diagonal. You know, it's not a perfect diagonal. It kind of zigs real slowly. And so, like, it's hard to do railing on something like this without it looking real zigzaggy. So I just put fences every so often, and then I put some torches on a couple of them. I think it looks all right. And then I just kind of did a drop, then up, up. And it creates a little bit of like a suspension bridge kind of feeling. Put a little bit of cobble on each end, which I think looks okay. We still need to do some work on this end, but we still need to bring the road over as well. So I'm not going to sweat that too much yet. Yeah, while I'm thinking about it, let's go grab some of those firefly bushes. It's pretty cool that they're right there. Then I'll also show you what it kind of looks like from over here. So if we turn around and take a peek, yeah, trees in the way, but you get the idea. A little bit of kind of a suspension bridge. That's kind of a creepy cave over there. Oop, I see drown. Nice. Oh, and it's raining. I might just grab a bunch of these and we could use them in some different places to add those particles. Be a cool addition to the jungle village for sure. And yeah, we could do it in some of the other villages as well. I think to finish up today, I want to see if we can finish a few of these buildings up and then also install a path through the village. Got a pretty good start here, and it is absolutely awesome. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. So when we walk in here, you're going to see this nice imposing wall and little gate here. The path is really jungly, really tore up, really rough. And then these buildings, they're all very small, and each one is a little different than the others. I wanted it to feel kind of primitive. So literally there'll be enough room for a bed and a workstation, and that's about it. And you can see there's some interesting ornamentation on top of some of them. Lots of greenery. And as we go along, it turns off to the left here. And again, each one has a little bit of a different character. Some are taller than others. This corner is where we're going to put our little building. And I think it'll be just a tiny bit taller to kind of anchor this whole thing. Again, as we turn this way, it comes down here. I did some weird things where like I left little poke holes and stuff so we get some light. Mix of jungle and oak doors. And I think it looks super cool. Once we get some workstations, we can then get some villagers over here and let them kind of fill the place up. And like I said, we'll build ourselves a little house in the corner. Besides workstations and villagers, we also need a bunch of beds. And beds mean wool. And so next episode, we will focus on a sheep farm. And that way we can get all the wool we need for the beds and banners. And that's where I'm going to wrap this one up. If you want to be like these folks and help support the channel, scan the code on the screen or click join down below. And thanks for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.